The Constitution of 1787 opens up with "We the people of the United States." In order to form a more perfect union, two ordained and established the Constitution of the United States of America. You see, even before the Civil War, the phrase "the Union" was used. It was common. But now the Union of States had to be used because the United States was no longer united. So now we have the rebels to the south and the Yankees to the north. One Southerner said he was 21 years of age before he realized that "damn" and "Yankee" were two separate words. Indeed, the Union was then the North. They were the blue. They were the Yankees. And now, the Union forever is their battle cry of freedom.
Oh, John, you know one of the great things about being married?
What is? We'll take James next
All right. Do you know the great thing about being married?
What is the great thing about being
When
married?
you're married, John, there's someone there to help you. Someone to help you cope with all the problems you never had when you were single. You know President Lincoln's here tonight, don't you?
I know President Lincoln. Bob.
Yeah.
President Lincoln, stand up. Bob.
Yeah. Well, I got a sad story about presidents.
Okay.
Yeah.
About presidents.
4 of our former presidents were together one time. It was Jimmy Carter.
Okay.
It was George H.W. Bush.
Okay.
Bill Clinton and George W. Bush.
Okay.
They were all together at a function. It was an important function, and each of them had a little. I mean, suddenly, a huge cyclone just came out of nowhere. He said, whoa, whoa! It's going around, swept them up into the sky. And the next thing you know, there they are. They're in the land of Oz.
Oh yeah. Really? No. Okay.
Right there in front of us.
Okay.
And smoke's going up in the air, the lights going off, and this big thing up in the air. He says, "What are you doing here?" And he points at Jimmy Carter, and Jimmy says, "Well, sir," and he says, "somebody told me I need courage."
Courage. Okay.
Courage. And Wizard looks down at him and says, "Well, you do. And you'll have it." And then he looks at George H.W.
Yeah.
George H.W. Bush kind of shaking a little bit at that point. He says, "Well, some people say I need a heart." And the Wizard said, "Well, you do.
Okay.
And you'll have it." And then George W. Bush, he just got a big grin on his face. And the Wizard said, "Well, what do you want?" And George W. Bush said, "Well, some people say I need rain." The Wizard agreed with him. And said, "You shall have it." Yeah. And then he looked at Bill Clinton and said, "Well, what do you want?" Bill said, "Is Dorothy here?"
We know this time in American history as the war between the states. It was also a war between freedoms, personal freedoms. You see, not unlike today, this nation of self-made Americans, freedom meant personal liberty and property rights. And what was best about this nation somehow turned out for the worst war. A war that created something called a rebel. A war that created an army of the gray. A war that created something, a battle cry that said those that would stand, that would take their stand and live or die in Dixie.
Baptist is a short form.
By the way, wonderful song, Dan. Thank you. Dan Walker.
I'm glad to see Abraham Lincoln sitting at a table, but not in a booth. Kind of headline it off to me. So,
I understand that.
yes. I'd like to point out, Dr. Paul Wellston, a long-time man with the Rotary Minstrel Show down here in front with his lovely wife, Eleanor. Give them all a round of applause. The best man ever. He set a standard that none of us have ever been able to.
We're still working on it for you.
I don't think it ever happened. Never going to happen. You know, you probably recognize my uniform in the cavalry.
Very impressive.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. If I say that we can find it in the South, I assure you. You probably want to know a little bit about my horse.
Hey, we'd like to know more about your horse.
My horse.
Okay.
It's not a horse.
It's a horse.
I was on the roosters.
Okay.
My horse.
There's an R back there somewhere.
Yes, there too. That's a horse. Anyway, my horse is brown.
Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You probably want to know his name.
Hey, what was your brown horse's name?
Leroy.
Okay, Leroy.
Leroy.
Leroy Brown. Okay.
I probably want to know what breed of horse he was.
What kind of horse was it?
He's a Shetland. He's a registered Shetland pony.
Okay.
Short.
Short.
Yes. We have a whole brigade of short Shetland ponies.
Now let's pause here. You have a whole brigade of fighting men on Shetland ponies.
It is the sight to behold. One battle, we charged those Yankees on our little Shetland ponies, just about down the hill. It was a dear sight. And right as we got to their line, about 5 feet or so, our little Shetlands did a 90-degree turn, and they sprayed those Yankees with a bombardment of roadhouse like you never seen. Well, there was 15 of them Yankees that perished right on the side. And why there is such a sight?
I can hear it now. Oh, Shetland Roadhouse.
It became the charge of the Shetlands. You probably read about it, I'm sure.
I did yesterday.
The other day I was riding Leroy, and I fell off.
Oh.
It's bad. And he drugged me for miles and miles and miles. It seemed like forever Leroy drugged me. And it went on. Finally somebody came out of the store and unplugged Leroy. You know what I said?
What?
I said, bye, Leroy. I later heard from a fortune teller that somebody made a song out of my whole name. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm going to tell one quick story. Y'all probably want me to get off now. Perhaps I should. It's holiday.
It's the last night. Go for it.
Okay. I'll tell you one quick story. 2 peanuts went into a bomb.
2 peanuts.
Yeah. One was assaulted.
Dan Walker. I know. I'm trying to get that out of my mind. Army regulations call for the camps for the soldiers to be laid out in a grid, with the officers' tents in the front and the enlistment tents in the back. But after the Civil War raged on, camps became just tents with lots of mud and dust. Yet when the battle was not going on, which was 2/3 of the time, the men in camp relied on 2 of the most important things that they had. The first was coffee, and the second was thoughts from home. So to keep their minds off of the killing, to keep their minds off of possibly even dying, they would do and go to that one place where they could find peace. They would gather together and sing songs around the campfire at the old campground.